Hey everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of Shooting the Breeze. So there is a specific reason why we changed the intro this week, and that's because at our guest's behalf, we are covering Smallville, a show that the three of us absolutely love. So I'm one of your hosts. I'm Matt, and joined as always as Ben. And today we have 50 Shades of Geek. How are you guys doing?
I'm all right. Ben doesn't really look all that good.
Well, I can tell you're doing all right, and I just saw mostly Ben's ear. Is everything okay, Ben? Hello?
Ben, can you hear us? Ben!
Ben! Looks like his audio went dead again.
Okay. You mean it happened once before?
Yeah, it happened when we were recording an episode of It's.
Okay. Why don't you and I talk for a little bit?
Sure.
And give Ben.
So how did you come? Okay, we'll just start and we'll bring him in when he's ready to go. How did you come across Smallville?
Well, I've always been aware of it. It was always like in the background when I was in high school, but I never actually watched it. And then years later, I found it was actually a Superman show. Because I thought that was just some random science fiction TV show about aliens. And later in life, I found out there was an actual Superman TV show. And at the time, now remember, this is a long time ago, okay? 1 second. At the time, I was a DC hater. And I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud to say that or to admit it, but that was my life for a period of my time. In fact, in the army, you couldn't really hear me talk anything positive about DC. What is going on over there?
I have no idea.
Sorry, guys. My audio is fucked up again. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, we hear you now, and assuming you can hear us.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Dude, it's all good. It's a live show. That's what happens. Anywho, you were talking about being a DC hater there, 50.
Yeah, I was a despicable DC hater. You know, the type of people that will always just praise Marvel, even for the shittiest movies that they've done, and will never, ever acknowledge anything good about any of the stuff that DC used to do. Hold on.
I get a feeling this is going to be a hoot.
I remember I had this bet with one of the soldiers back in the army that I just we were always arguing who's better, Spider-Man or Batman, and I always shit talked Batman and always praised Spider-Man because he was a Marvel hero. But then something changed in my. Oops, hold on. I clicked on something. Something changed in my life.
Okay.
In late 2014, I discovered Movie Talk. And that obviously led to Campia and Schnepp. And, you know, you always hear about how they talk about the DC fanboys and the Marvel fanboys that just keep attacking each other. And they always talk with such negative connotations to them. And eventually, after hearing so many of their shows over and over and over again every day, it just something clicked for me. And I just said, well, I don't want to be like those people anymore. And besides, don't make me laugh, I'll choke. But besides, some of the stuff that the really toxic DC and Marvel fanboys were doing and saying was just despicable. And I said to myself, nope, I will not be one of those. I can love both. And it used to be the same thing with Star Wars and Star Trek, by the way. It used to be the same thing with Doctor Who and Battlestar Galactica. It was this I always gravitated to one thing and just despised the other. I always loved the Harry Potter movies and hated the Lord of the Rings movies. So it was kind of like that for me, and it took meeting Schnepp, well, not meeting them, but listening to Schnepp and Campia and Harloff and all these wonderful people to change me on that note. If any of you guys had experiences like that, as I take another.
Well, no, I mean, growing up, yeah, I could have been a contrarian, but I mean, like, I've never really been like that where it's like one side or the other. It's like, hey, if that's what you love, man, awesome. I kind of take Campia's view on it. Like, I may not like it, but you do, and that's something to celebrate, right?
Awesome. You, Ben?
I feel the same way. Like, I'm always, I guess I've been a DC fan longer, but yeah, I feel the same way. I like both, and if I don't like something but you do, I'm happy for you. Stuff like that.
Like, there was a time where I would bust people's, like, I would make fun of people for things they liked, but it wasn't until I hearing like you, those guys, talk about stuff like that where I realized we're all on the same team here.
We're all nerds together.
Exactly. How did you come across Smallville there, Ben?
How did I? Well, I remember seeing it advertised. I have a funny story about it. I remember seeing it advertised. And I remember watching the pilot and kept waiting for a change from Clark Kent to Superboy. And when that never happened, I got turned off from it.
And the pilot?
For about a year and a half. And then, you're like this, that I saw Jonathan Taylor Thomas in an episode. And I was a fan like you of Home Improvement. I said, what the hell? Check it out.
Yeah.
And I watched it. And then I still remember the next episode I watched was the one with, I forget her name. Shifter, a woman who could change into anybody she wants.
Oh,
yeah, forgot her name. She was in
That's-
two
Yeah.
episodes, I think.
I can't remember the character's name, but
Yeah, you know who I mean.
yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
She was
The
in
episode when he discovered his X-ray vision.
yeah,
Right. She came back in season 2.
yeah.
And actually, first she came back as Whitney. And then,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, it was the episode we found out Whitney passed away in battle.
Exactly.
Missing in action.
Yeah.
And that episode, for whatever reason, hooked me. And from that episode on, I watched it. And I loved it.
So
And-
I didn't watch the show when it first aired. And
Okay.
I remember it would have been season 3 at this point. And I'm the big Superman fan. I'm the big comic book fan in the family. But growing up, I'm not going to get into it. But growing up, essentially, other members of my family were treated better than I was. And so my grandma bought my cousin the first 2 seasons of Smallville, even though I'm the fucking superhero now. Go figure. And something was wrong with the case, and Walmart wouldn't accept it back for season 2. So my grandma just bought her another one, and I ended up with the old one. And that's how I got hooked on Smallville. I binged that second season, then I went back and bought the first one, and then when I caught up, I started watching it weekly until the very day it ended.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite episode or favorite season?
Well,
Mm.
a lot of people give season 4 shit, but I'd say that's up there for me.
Me too.
I'm one of those people.
You don't like season 4?
I mean, there's good stuff in it, obviously, but it's the worst of the 10 seasons, and the show that most of the seasons were near perfect.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, for me, why it's so up there is because that's for me when the show became the show with the introduction of Lois Lane, where everything now if I think about the show, it's always the stuff that happened post season 4. And I have a hard time going back and watching the first 3 seasons every time I try to binge.
I think the first 3 seasons were like the kiddie time, and season 4 was like, because he was in high school, then sort of it transitioned into college, and then he just straight up became a man. By the way, I didn't even get to finish my story. I said to myself, if I am going to change my ways and become like a fan of both, Smallville is a good place to start. So I just started binging the whole thing in like a couple of months. And I was also preparing myself for the Batman vs Superman movie. So I watched all the Superman movies. All the
that new to Smallville. Oh, okay.
I started watching it in late 2015, early 2016, about a year after I got out of the army.
Wow. Okay. Huh.
I don't understand what. I must be doing something wrong with this. There's not enough smoke.
I don't know. It looked like you had enough smoke earlier.
Yeah, that's the problem. Why is it gone now?
But I was just talking to Ben. When it comes to favorite episodes, like I'm going to be doing. This is the first time I've seen the show in a long time, and rewatching the episodes that we were given, it's definitely made me want to go back and actually watch everything. So I'm going to do season 4 onwards. But as of right now, I'd have to say probably my favorite episode is Homecoming, the one I just finished watching before we went on air, the 200th episode.
Speaking of Homecoming, you have something to say about that episode, didn't you?
Yes. So I lived in Vancouver from 2008 to 2014, and Vancouver and all around Vancouver is where they filmed Smallville, and now where they film all the CW stuff.
Be right back.
Filmed there, like pretty much a lot of the TV series that come up from the CW, majority of them are filmed there. And so one day I was on the SkyTrain going to the mall, and the set for Metropolis, so where you see like a lot of the street stuff, like intimate street stuff, was filmed on this outdoor set. And so I happened to be on the SkyTrain going to the mall, and they were filming the stunt where Clark saves the helicopter with the green screens in the background. I don't think it was Tom Welling on the roof because I was far enough away that I couldn't quite tell, but they had the prop helicopter, and they did the whole thing. So I got to see that filmed. That was pretty
cool. You were in Captain America before Captain America.
Pretty much.
Yeah, actually they did.
Pretty much. And yeah, a few years prior to that, I was on the SkyTrain, and I as we're going by, they were in between filming, and I saw Allison Mack walking the street. I was like, holy shit. Yeah.
I'm sure if you saw her walking down the street right now, it would be a completely different reaction.
Yeah, I'd be wondering, why are you free?
Yeah. Why are you out and about?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
One of the beauty things about living down there at that time and being a fan of the show was I would go around trying to find places to film. So I've been to Cloverdale where they filmed downtown Smallville, and it's exactly like what you think it is. Yeah.
Did you see the barn?
No, the barn is. I didn't get there because that's actually outside of Cloverdale. It's in a place called Aldergrove. You actually have to drive to go there. But
how big is this area?
Well, you know how, like in big cities like Los Angeles and New York, you've got like all the little like suburbs and stuff like that. It's the same idea. So you've got it's all encompasses Vancouver, but I mean Vancouver is separated into Vancouver, Burnaby, New Westminster, Surrey, and then so on and so forth.
One of these days, I need to Google Earth Vancouver.
Oh, dude,
maybe I'll.
One of the shitty things is though is once the show ended, they tore down the Metropolis set. Now it's a set of condos.
Oh, really?
People actually living there?
I didn't live in the condos, but I mean, yeah, I watched them tear it down and build it up every time I would go to work. It sucked because I mean, to me, that was iconic.
Yeah, it's a piece of history, right?
Yeah.
Well, now you look at Smallville in a whole new way, kind of. Superman doesn't know it, but we'll get there.
Yeah. And I mean, I love that they're bringing back pretty much what is established as the Kent farm in that show. Yeah. I mean, at this point, you can't have one without the other.
Mm-hmm.
It's too iconic.
Wait, so the Superman and Lois TV show is going to be on Earth?
Yeah, it's them after Crisis, and they're raising 2 kids.
I thought they were raising the kids on Kandor.
They had to come back for some reason. Ben shared the trailer with me, and I can't quite remember, but they had to come back to Earth for a reason.
What trailer? For Superman and Lois?
There was a trailer.
For Superman and Lois?
Yeah. I
When
didn't
did
know
that trailer came out?
Like a month ago?
How could I have missed that?
Dude, I said the same thing.
Are you sure it wasn't a fake trailer?
I think they quietly released it. I don't know why, but it's not really a trailer, it's more of a teaser.
Yeah. And at that point, they hadn't filmed a lot of stuff, so Ben's convinced that there's actually a shot from Crisis on Infinite Earths in there.
I
Makes
open
sense.
it up right now.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they didn't have anything filmed, so that would be why. But yeah, that's like I said, all the CW stuff is filmed in Vancouver. So pretty much, even though it's supposed to take place in different cities, it's usually all the same block where they film. And I mean, there's even still some locations that they film that from Smallville that's using the CW stuff. Like a lot of back alley stuff is the same section by the SkyTrain in US.
Watchtower. I seen Watchtower on the Flash.
Yep. It's an actual building.
Yeah.
Luthor Corp is an actual building. I know where that building is.
I thought most of those buildings was just CGI'd.
Well, they are, but I mean, like, when you see the landscape, it's CGI. But I mean, like, there is a physical entrance, like that is actually filmed in downtown Vancouver and stuff.
Like I'm guessing that Daily Planet logo, that's CGI.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, that's CGI. Like, I know which building is the Daily Planet, but that globe is definitely CGI.
Yeah, because can't believe this. I'm asking you this, but do they actually have buildings with spinning metal pieces on them? That'll be completely unsafe, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one in real life, but at this point, it's too iconic. You can't have the Daily Planet without it.
Right. So let me ask you this: what did you guys think of the iconic Superman characters through Smallville eyes? So people like the Kents, people like Lex Luthor, Lois Lane, who else? Jimmy Olsen. What did you think of all those characters?
Well, I like it now. See, here's the thing. I always love watching different takes on stuff where, we're overly familiar with. I'd say out of all of those, probably Jimmy was my least favorite of the characters.
Okay.
But that's the best version of the Kents we've ever gotten. I'll fight this to the death. That's the best Lois Lane we'll ever have. No offense to Margot Kidder, but I love Erica Durance as Lois Lane. I think she's perfect.
She's awesome.
Oh yeah, she's still my crush. Like I said, the best version of the Kents, arguably the best version of Lex Luthor we've ever gotten.
Definitely. It's Rosenbaum, Clancy Brown, and then there's just everyone else. To me.
You know what? I know he's persona non grata, but Kevin Spacey was good as Lex.
I didn't think so.
And I can't believe I'm saying this. If you told me 2 years ago I would be saying this, I would have laughed at you. John Cryer as Lex Luthor.
He's amazing.
Fantastic.
I forgot.
I knew he'd be good. I didn't know he'd be that good.
I didn't know he would be that. I didn't know he would be good. No.
Okay, I changed my answer. It's Rosenbaum, then Clancy Brown, and then John Cryer. John Cryer is just amazing.
Yeah,
and I didn't really expect. By the way, John Cryer played Lex Luthor's cousin in Superman 4, A Quest for Peace.
Yeah.
Nephew.
And yes, nephew. That makes more sense.
Lenny
But
Luthor.
That's what I love about the Superman franchise above most of the other superhero franchise is they keep bringing previous actors back, like Martha Kent.
Yep, Lana Lang.
And first of all, I was going to say this earlier. As a guy who was relatively new to Superman at that time when I watched Smallville, I've never even heard of the character of Lana Lang. So that was a completely new character to me, and I was shocked to realize that was actually Clark Kent's first love.
Yeah, then that's been around forever in the comics, but definitely was Smallville that made her popular.
So she wasn't really that well known before
Well, I
that.
mean, she was well known in the comic
okay.
book sphere, like around people like us. But I mean, Smallville pretty much catapulted that character into the zeitgeist.
We're talking about new one character. Look at Green Arrow.
Yeah,
Who
Yes.
knows what knew about Green Arrow before Smallville?
right. And then I'm looking at the episode. I'm like, oh, the new 52 got their look from this. It's exactly what he looks like in the new 52.
Yeah. I remember when I first saw the episode where Justin Hartley appeared, and he was like, and Justin Hartley as Oliver Queen. I was like, what? What? What do you mean Oliver Queen?
I will say that when Arrow first aired, I had a heart. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this just because we had just gotten off Justin Hartley's version of the Green Arrow. And I was like, okay, I can get on board.
Then email you catch the Easter egg in the pilot for Oliver Queen.
There was an Easter
You
egg
mean
for
an
Oliver
Arrow?
Queen.
An Arrow?
No, and Smallville.
No, I haven't gone back and watched that episode in a long time.
I watched it
In
before.
the very first opening scene, you see Lionel reading a newspaper. And it says, Queen CEO mysteriously vanished.
Oh,
Wow.
in the pilot, yes. Okay, no, I've heard of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't. This is first to me.
Yeah.
but to go back to your point about like bringing in alumni, like not just Annette O'Toole as Martha. You had the voice of Jor-El was Terrence Stamp, who was the original General Zod in
Even
Superman.
before Todd.
Yeah, you had him. They brought back Dean Cain to play a villain.
He was a version of Vandal Savage.
Yep, that is correct.
Have the adapted version.
Yeah.
Terry
I'll-
Hatcher? Terry Hatcher?
No, she
Terry
never.
Hatcher?
She done this.
Terry Hatcher.
That's right. She was Lois's mom. She was Lois's mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in
Yeah.
season 10, they have it. Is it season 10?
Yeah.
Where they have an episode and they put in the videotape that Lois's mom made for her, and it is Terry Hatcher.
Oh, now I remember. Now I remember.
Barbara Kennedy came back in season 4 as well.
Yeah, and Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, and
Christopher Reeve.
Helen Slater.
She was Clark's mom.
Yeah,
Kal-El, sorry, Kal-El.
yeah,
And Jimmy Olsen from Superman the movie.
yeah.
Made an appearance.
Which Kryptonian?
He was a one-off episode. He had come down. I can't remember the character's name, but he had come down to Earth.
That's it. He was the creator of Brainiac.
Yeah,
Mm.
the creator of Brainiac, and then he'd been living amongst humans for years before the meteor shower.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Not to mention Linda Carter, Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
She was Chloe's mother.
Yeah.
that's right. Yes, I had forgotten about that.
Yeah.
And of course, Danny Glover played in Batman Returns. He played a version of the Fluorescent Man.
in Batman Returns.
Sorry, Batman and Robin. I'm a little
Yeah,
tired.
Batman and Robin. But
Batman and Robin. That
And,
character that he
And
played.
he was more strong dad in Shazam.
That's right. He was.
yeah, that's also true. They
Yeah,
might have ruined
The
this.
superhero shows, they all work together as one.
And what I love about it is they keep doing it, specifically with the Superman franchise. Because in Supergirl, like again, Linda Carter was the president, and Kara's parents, Helen Slater,
Okay.
Dean
And Dean Cain, yeah.
Terry Hatcher was Mon-El's mom, and Erica Durance is now Kara's Kryptonian mother.
Which I was like, okay, I like that. I'm glad to see her back.
Would have been amazing if they got Tom Welling to be Jor-El in
Well,
Supergirl.
That would have been one thing, but I think Tom Welling's pretty much retired for the most part from acting.
Even after he did Lucifer for a whole season.
For the most part, I didn't say completely because I mean I know.
I think he was just tired of Smallville and he needed a break.
Well, yeah, can you blame him?
Also, the problem is he's been doing that character for 10 years, and that's really the only thing he did. He didn't really have much acting experience beyond that.
Well,
He didn't
yeah.
really do a lot of movies or other
Well,
stuff.
yeah. I mean, the biggest thing he did on film was Cheaper by the Dozen, and he was in The Fog. But yeah, I'm looking at his IMDb page. He's only got 16 acting credits.
Really?
Yeah, and so yeah, pretty much Smallville ended in 2011, and then he did like 3 movies within the span of like 5 years, and then he did Lucifer, and then it was Clark Kent. So for the most part, yeah, he does a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
He's more of a producer. He also directed a lot of episodes on Smallville, I think.
Yeah,
He's also credited as executive producer. Only 7?
Yeah, and he executive produced 21.
He directed one of the parts in Absolute Justice.
And he did part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which a good time is a Hawkman in live action.
When they announced that episode, man, it just blew my fucking mind. Like, I mean, like, we're gonna see the Justice Society of America, right on.
I've missed all of the announcement. I just basically came in fresh because I've missed the show. The only prior knowledge I had about the show was, I think, back when the show was still in the air, I saw an episode that featured Doomsday. I think it was the finale where Doomsday was killed, and that's how I basically learned that it was a show about Superman. And obviously, that's when my brain detached from it. So when I started watching the show consistently, when I started to binge it, pretty much every episode I was just looking, okay, where's Doomsday? Where's Doomsday? I want to see Doomsday. And I've been looking for Doomsday ever since pretty much season 2, when they had that one episode about that kid that died and came back to life.
Yeah.
I thought for sure that was Doomsday. Little did I know that we weren't going to get Doomsday until like season 8 or something.
Yeah, and played by none other than former champion Sam Witwer.
Yeah, he's still the Star Wars champion in my mind.
He was also in Supergirl.
Oh yeah, again bringing back actors from previous project,
which is the reason why he had to relinquish the Star Wars title.
Was it that, or was it because he
got cast in Supergirl?
What?
It was because he got cast in Supergirl that he had.
Yeah, it was at the same time. I mean, they had that cutscene with Emma 5 talking to him, and I thought, okay, if Sam can't make it, that means he must have gotten a big part. And then a couple of weeks later, it was revealed that he was playing Citizen Liberty. Or was it Agent Liberty? Sorry, Agent of Liberty. And obviously Darth Maul and Solo.
Mm-hmm. Might I add, he was in the best season of Supergirl. I know that's not saying much for me, but
no, you're right. That was a good season. That was a
really good season.
Yeah, Supergirl's an underrated show, especially once they moved over properly to the CW.
It got a lot better once they did that.
Yeah.
I think first of all, speaking of Supergirl, I can't wait to see in like 10, 15 years, they do another Superman type show, Supergirl, and they bring back Melissa Benoist as one of the returning characters, because that's what the Superman franchise does.
Yeah.
The only other franchise I know that did it was The Flash, and was just with John Wesley Shipp and the actress that played Iris in the 90s Flash.
And Mark Hamill.
Yeah, Mark Hamill. But I mean, Mark Hamill is Mark Hamill. You can't have a character that used to be played by Mark Hamill and not bring him back, right?
Yeah, pretty much is the prototype of the Joker. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But when they brought back John, like, I'm not gonna lie, because I used to watch that Flash original TV series a lot. When John Wesley Shipp showed up in that Flash costume, I fucking lost my mind.
Was that so good? I never watched it.
It's really good for its time. It's just the reason why it only lasted 1 year is because it was so expensive to make. I've heard of excess of like $6 million an episode.
Wow.
Because I think it came out in 1990, and so like it cost a lot more to do special effects back then, and there was a lot of special effects on that show. But it is very, very underrated.
I'm smoking and you're joking.
I'm getting over a cold.
Oh, okay.
What show is better, that, The Flash, or Lois and Clark?
Lois and Clark.
Okay.
which I watched a few years ago. It still holds up.
Yep.
I need to watch that.
It's good. It was the first form of media that focused on Clark Kent as the main character, and Superman was somebody he became, not the other way around.
I believe it's the first also example of Superman shaving.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the show, but I saw a clip of it.
Yeah, with the mirror.
Yeah. Fun fact: the guy that played one of the characters from Lois and Clark voiced Superman's grandfather in Superman the animated series.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It was the guy who played Lex. I can't remember.
It might be the guy that played Lex. He also voiced the guy from the Asylum in Beauty and the Beast, and Judge Claude Frollo.
Oh, Tony J. Yeah, no, he didn't play Lex. But yeah, I know he played Lex's butler.
Oh, okay. It was also George Frollo in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and he voiced Shere Khan in Tailspin.
Yep, Tony J.
Well,
May he rest in peace.
in Smallville, Lana's bio dad. Remember she found her biological father in season 2?
Yep.
What about him?
What's his name? Michael Cassidy, I think.
Yeah.
Could be.
He was in Lois and Clark.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
3-episode arc.
Sorry, what was that?
It was a 3-episode arc.
Oh yeah.
Lois and Clark?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if you can, I do recommend watching Lois and Clark. Like it's a fucking rom-com done Superman style, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, Smallville was
Superman. That's what I call it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, think about it. Yeah.
Let's try not to cause 50 there to choke.
Yeah. But if that was a rom-com version of the Superman mythos, Smallville was a coming-of-age story.
Oh, hands down.
It was a high school show. It was the Power Rangers, but with Superman.
Done better.
Think about it. Yeah, done better with better effects and better storytelling. Much better.
And no reused footage.
Well, there is something using for that.
You know what I mean, though. Come on.
They reused shots from The Dark Knight, I believe, from Batman Begins.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's not as blatant as Power Rangers.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you let an Israeli create a show. I'm just being honest.
Esteban, yeah.
Chaim.
Sorry.
You see the no, because I'm saying it because in the episode of the Toys That Made Us, he made a point that everyone called him Chaim.
Which, funny enough, is also Gene Simmons' birth name.
Really?
No kidding.
He just was born in Israel as well.
Gene Simmons was born in Israel? I
Birth
didn't know
name,
that.
Chaim Weiss.
Wow.
Yeah, he immigrated to the United States in the 1950s.
Awesome fun facts. You learn new stuff every day.
I'm a big Kiss fan. What can I say?
By the way, did you know that there's a Pokemon based on Kiss?
No, I didn't.
It was one of the newer ones, and it's a regional form. So lately, in the last 2 games, they kind of introduced this idea that Pokemon from previous regions have different forms in the newer games, sort of like how animals have adapted to their new environment. So they kind of slightly changed the species, but it's still the same thing. They did the same thing with Pokemon, and one of the because the latest Pokemon game was based on Britain, they made a Pokemon about Kiss.
Oh, cool.
If you want, I can send you a picture of it. It's called Obstagoon.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see that. But to bring it back to Smallville, like, what do you think the lasting legacy of that show is? Because, I mean, it's been off the air for, 9 years now, and a lot of people still hold it in high regard.
Mm-hmm.
No,
As they should.
For me, it's easy. ArrowVerse. I will fight anybody on this. You need not have ArrowVerse without Smallville.
Oh, you don't need to fight anybody.
Yes.
I think that's pretty common
Yes,
knowledge.
that is true. That series pretty much popularized Green Arrow. And that's the reason why we have Green Arrow as the leader of the Arrowverse today.
Well, not just that, like they were doing superhero team ups before it became popular. Like if it wasn't for them showing you how it was done, you wouldn't have things like Crisis. And I'm sure it's even had an impact on what they did with the Avengers.
Yeah, actually, I didn't think about that. It's funny how some of the art choices and clothing choices were kind of inspired by the X-Men movies because they were all wearing leather stuff. So it was mostly monochrome colored, but then by season 5, I believe they started wearing actual colorful costumes.
Well, what I found funny, which I totally forgot about, was when watching the Justice episode and how pretty much everybody's costume looked exactly the same, just with different colors.
Yeah,
sleeveless hoodies, leather hoodies.
That's what I love about it. And what I love more about it is that right from the first couple of episodes of season 1, you can tell it's Superman because it was always wearing a blue shirt and a red jacket, or the reverse. And as a result of that, my mom actually bought me a couple of red hoodies, a red hoodie and a white and a blue hoodie to kind of match myself up as Clark Kent.
Yeah, I had this Superman shirt for a long time. It was just a blue shirt, but with the emblem. And I have a red hoodie. And I was walking downtown Vancouver one day, and I'm wearing the combo. I didn't realize it until a few people pointed at me and gave me the thumbs up. Then I looked in the window, and I was like, "Oh, all right."
I posted a picture in the group chat, the Facebook chat.
Oh yeah, okay, I see it. Yeah, you're not wrong. Definitely not wrong. But yeah, what about you? What do you think, 50? What do you think is the lasting legacy of this show?
Well, I mean, like Ben said, it's the Arrowverse, and a lot of people attribute the X-Men movies to the golden age of superheroes that we have today. Not untrue, but I also think Smallville had something to do with it. If anything, I think the X-Men popularized the idea of superhero movies. Smallville is the reason why we have such a huge superhero TV presence these days. Because not only the Arrowverse stuff, but I don't think we would have gotten some of the Marvel stuff, like the Defenders stuff, or Umbrella Academy, The Boys, Doom Patrol. Yeah, I don't think we have that, if not for Smallville. I believe still the longest running superhero TV show of all time. Live action.
You are correct. 10 seasons.
And also the animated stuff that was also around the same time, which, by the way, Michael Rosenbaum also voiced the Flash.
Mm-hmm. That was the Wally West version, correctly?
Wally West, yeah. It was just a mixture of all these great things that just sort of happened at the same time.
Yeah, sure.
If the 90s were the decade that pretty much killed superhero movies, the 2000s was the decade that resuscitated them, and then the 2010s is the golden age of superhero media.
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it on the head. The 2000s was the testing ground, really, and it's been nothing but error ever since.
Hey, and don't forget, guys, Smallville gave us a first alternate reality. Parallel Earth.
Yeah, with the
Was it the first? Was it the first, though?
No, I think Lois and Clark might have done it before.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. I forgot about that episode.
But on a different note, Smallville was the live-action debut of a lot of Superman-related characters.
Yeah.
And also not Superman-related characters, like Doomsday, for example, as we mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not Zod, obviously.
Cyborg.
Yeah, Cyborg.
Aquaman.
Yeah. Aquaman.
Even though there was that failed pilot with Justin Hartley.
What?
There was Justin before he became Green Arrow, he did a pilot for the CW for Aquaman, and he played Aquaman.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of Aquaman, the guy that played him, Alan Richardson, is Hawk in Titans.
And Leonardo.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then Incarnation, the Bay
Movies.
Wait, was he Leonardo or Raphael?
Leo.
Okay, I'll trust your word for it.
Pretty
And
sure.
Johnny Knoxville voiced Raphael or Leo?
I'm not.
You might be right. Hold on, I'm going to look that up.
I remember he was interviewed by Roxy and Dorina on Collider Live.
Yeah, I remember. That's
how I remember it.
Movies were shit.
I like the first one.
Yeah, I like the first one. I didn't really see the second one.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the second one either. Yeah, no, you're right. He was Raphael.
Yeah, because I remembered something that he said during the interview.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, remember who's in the second one? In Casey
That's right.
Jones.
Stephen
The
Amell.
what?
Stephen Amell played Casey Jones in the second Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I wish Stephen Amell would have gotten a better break than he did. He was so great as Arrow. Didn't really get too much after that.
No, well, I mean, now he's got another show that he's doing right now where it's about professional wrestling, which actually should be fun to watch. It's
he's a wrestling fan, isn't he?
Oh, huge wrestling fan. He's wrestled in a match at SummerSlam. He wrestled in the very first AEW pay-per-view. Like, yeah, he's a huge wrestling fan.
And
He's good. I watched that SummerSlam match live. The dude fit in. Dude's a natural.
Sorry, I'm eating this.
No worries. It's like what, 3, almost 4 in the morning for you?
Yeah, 4 in the morning.
Jesus.
Yeah, almost for 20 minutes from now. It'll be when we're done with the show. It's gonna be 4:20.
Very nice.
Last time I took this thing up was on 4:20 and I threw up.
Yeah, well, don't throw up on air.
That's why I gotta keep eating.
Oh yeah.
And hold on, I had something else I wanted to say, but I think the buzz is starting to kick in about some of the characters. Oh shit, my head is starting to spin. Talk for a minute while I try to gather my thoughts again.
All right, Ben. So we know what your favorite episode is. Well, I do, anyways. With the Christopher Reeve.
Right.
What's your second favorite? Oh, which reminds me.
Awesome!
Yeah, my very first tattoo.
Awesome, nice. And your shirt.
Yep.
Not a lot of people know this, but it's actually Superboy, not Superman.
Yep, I know. But it's honestly, it's my favorite look. For some reason, that Superboy look for me is the best.
I thought I had over there. I thought I had a comic of Teen Titans where you can see Superboy on it, but I think I must have moved it back room.
Well, I've got plenty of those.
I think I remember what my favorite episode is.
What's that?
Okay.
Dude! I was
Awesome.
thinking about that. Like when I was watching the episode, like what I would give to get that. Where'd you find it?
On eBay. Same place I got this. I got this as a birthday present from my mom, but it doesn't fit her very much. So
Yeah.
no one's really wearing it.
God, yeah, I would love to have that hanging in my my apartment.
I wish it was bigger though, but that's the only one I could have found. I think it was the only one still in existence anywhere.
God, man, yeah, that shot. Honestly, I think that's probably one of the best ways you could ever introduce characters was the way they introduced the Justice Society and who they were in that episode of Newsreel.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, we may not have seen the other characters, but hey, at least we got to see Alan Scott. We at least got to see Ted Grant. We got to see
Jay Garrick.
Fuck, what's her name? Mom. That the older lady there.
Which one?
Hunkle? Henkel? She's not in that picture, but she was in the montage. She was yeah.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know her name. I know who you're talking about.
Oh, and I bet you didn't know this. The guy who played Sylvester McCoy, not Sylvester McCoy, sorry.
Sylvester McCoy.
The Star-Spangled Kid.
Yeah.
Sylvester Pemberton.
He appeared in an earlier episode of Smallville.
Okay.
Which one?
Oh,
So the episode where we first meet the character Ryan,
okay.
Ryan.
that's his stepfather.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
They did that a lot. Yeah, I
They
mean,
did.
the toy
Can I
man. The toy man appeared an earlier episode in season 3.
I met him once.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yes, he was a computer guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was only on screen for like 2 seconds. Also, that very same episode with the guy that played Toyman, Kobe Smulders was there.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. First, I knew who she was. Yeah.
Oh, which episode?
Kobe Smulders played this girl that
She was the one that was obsessed with Lex, right?
Yeah,
No, she
but
tried to
that
frame
was
Lex.
in the-
She tried to frame Lex
Toyman
before
was
he
in there.
existed or something.
Hold on.
She was in the season 4 episode.
Louis Smolder.
Clown.
Ben, do you think the guy that played you think the guy that was Toyman in that episode? You think that's the actual Toyman in the series canon? Because he worked at Luthor Corp, and Lex knew him. So
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
also in the final season, when last time you see Toyman, they had like Solomon Grundy on it and Black Manta
Yeah.
and a bunch of other ones. It was kind of nice.
Yeah, you're right. She was in the episode Bound.
Yeah. She's with Lex for murder.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's what I
Jane-
was thinking. The one who was obsessed with him.
Yeah.
I thought the one who was obsessed with him was the one that shaved her head and wanted to be his girlfriend or something. That weirdo.
Yeah, in season 5 finale.
Was it season 5 that late?
Yeah, it was like right before Jonathan died.
Oh yeah, because he was running for president at the time. The senator.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Justice Society, any of you guys watch Stargirl?
I don't. It's not streaming where I am at.
I can't bring myself to watch it. I watched her trailer and it didn't look good to me.
Really?
I think Stargirl's a great character, and I love how in Smallville they actually had the nod to her stepfather, who in comics was also her sidekick, Stripesy.
Yeah. Or Stripe, as he's now known.
Yeah.
He's played by Luke Wilson, and it's hard to watch that show and look at him without immediately thinking about Mark Riley. I mean, seriously, he looks exactly like Mark Riley. It's
do.
crazy.
I have to look at it side by side. I can't see it, man. I'll take my word for it.
The thing about Stargirl is, I think it's more of a Justice Society show that for some reason Stargirl is the main character. And I gotta be honest with you, she's one of my least favorite characters on that show.
Really?
Okay.
And I only kept watching it because of Mark Riley, Luke Wilson as Stripe, because he's amazing in that show. But then later they started, she found like the Justice Society's old headquarters, and she stole some of the stuff. I'm giving away spoilers, by the way, but I guess you guys don't really care. She stole like Green Lantern's ring. She stole Wildcat's costume. She stole all the stuff, Dr. Midnight's helmet, Hourman's hourglass, and she just gave them out to kids from her school, and they sort of restarted the new Justice Society. The other members of the Justice Society are okay. Dr. Midnight, the new Dr. Midnight, is a little iffy for me, but I love Our Man. I love the girl that became the new Wildcat, and I mean my favorite character in that show is actually the Icicle, the villain.
Oh, really?
That was one of the few superhero shows that I can. Well, The Boys is a little gray area, but that's one of the few shows that I think the villains are better than the heroes, and I actually want the villains to win in that show because they're so good. They have Sportsmaster in there and Tigress. Watching those two fight when they kick the crap out of the superheroes is just so much fun. It's just they turn violence into an art form. It's crazy. They use each other as weapons. Like she runs over to him and he grabs her and he just spins her around and he uses her as a weapon to just kick the other characters around with her feet. It's incredible. I'd say watch it just for the villains. And yeah. Also, there's a girl who's like the daughter of, I can't remember his name, Dragon King, I think. She's a character that you absolutely hate, but you're supposed to hate her because she's despicable. So I'm hesitant to say that she's my least favorite character because you're supposed to hate her. And she's just. There's a little spoiler I'm not going to give away, but when she does that on the show, you're just, oh, this girl's gotta die. I mean, she's evil to her core, and it goes beyond just the regular. She's like the popular girl that doesn't give a crap about anyone else. She thinks she's better than everyone. That's and that's the angle that she's playing in the show, and it's just you hate her, but you're supposed to hate her. It's kind of like Regina in the first 2 seasons of Once Upon a Time.
Yeah,
when I watched that, I ran out of curse words to say about that woman. But she's in one of my favorite characters now.
Yeah. Looks like I got to add Stargirl to my list then.
You know who I like in Smallville to bring it back is Dr. Fate.
Oh yeah, I like that
Dr. Fate. I want Dr. Fate back so much. I mean, they teased him in the Constantine show. They already had Spectre in the Crisis.
Yeah.
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
And don't forget, Mr. Terrific was in Arrow.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific. Fair play. But on the Stargirl show, they throw teases and hints at Green Lantern and Dr. Fate and maybe some of the other ones, but there's no indication that they're ever going to be appearing on that show.
Which sucks because I would like to see Alan Scott appear in a show at one point. Same with Wildcat. I would like to see.
We're getting Alan Scott.
Wildcat was in Arrow in season 3.
Oh yeah, I guess that's right.
But we are getting Alan Scott in HBO Max Green Lantern show. He's going to be
really?
No, not in that. In Black Adam, we're getting Alan Scott.
Oh, I did not know that.
We're getting some Justice Society members in that movie.
Black Adam is at one point.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think they teased Dr. Fate in that one, didn't they? And Hawkman in the Black Adam movie, which now sucks because 2020. You never know when that movie's going to come out.
We waited this long for it. We could wait a little longer.
I remember.
I was in the army when it was announced.
This is a long fucking time ago.
I remember watching AMC Movie Talk with them talking about Black Adam.
Fuck, I was still living in Vancouver 6 years ago when that was announced.
Yeah. And once again, it was during my I hate DC period when I was still in the army, and I was like, call me crazy, but as soon as I heard that Dwayne Johnson wanted to play either Shazam or Black Adam, that was my Now I gotta hate Dwayne Johnson. I hate Dwayne Johnson now. I kept shitting on his Hercules movie, and I kept shitting on the Fast and the Furious movies because Dwayne Johnson was involved, and it was, I was young and stupid.
How could
I'm always stupid. No joke. I was looking at a picture of him one time, a headshot of him just smiling, and it's dangerous to look at that face a little too long because I slightly felt myself crossing over to the other side. If you know what I mean.
Oh, I think I know what you mean. And honestly, if anybody could, it would be The Rock.
Yep.
Franchise Viagra at its best.
Yeah, well, he is franchise Viagra, so it makes sense.
Well, okay, let me ask you this. Do you guys remember a certain galactic princess showing up in Smallville?
Which princess?
Rigarda?
What?
Galactic Princess. Oh, no.
I don't remember Galactic. I mean, unless you're talking about the Furies. Oops.
No.
Fiery Furies.
Who are you talking about?
Carrie Fisher.
Oh, Carrie Fisher. That's right.
She was in Smallville?
Yes, she was the editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet at one point.
Holy fuck, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, in one episode, he kind of looked at an episode before he was interviewing.
She was at the beginning and at the very end. Do you remember the name of the episode?
It was a vampire episode. First.
Oh, really?
Season 5.
When
first.
when Lana became the a sorority member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy fuck! I totally forgot that she was in Smallville for an episode.
Yeah, she was great.
Ah, she's always great.
I have
I
a
have a
funny
favorite
story
favorite.
about that. I have a funny story about that episode, if you guys want to hear it.
Of course.
Okay, that came out in October 2005, I believe, right?
Air date was October 27th, 2005. Yeah.
If you
I
say
was
so.
in the hospital. I had a back surgery.
Oh,
So I remember watching that episode on painkillers
yeah.
and getting all paranoid because I saw bats on the ground.
That's fucking wild.
I'll never forget that episode.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it. Fuck. Watching that on hallucinogens.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I gotta say, I forgot just how good this show was until I just started doing the rewatch. I really did.
One of these days, I wanna. First of all, Ben, I hate you for making me rewatch those episodes, and I love you for making me rewatch those episodes.
Why?
I don't like watching episodes out of order. Like
Oh,
I don't like watching episodes. Well, this episode and then this episode. Just select episodes just for a show. I just enjoy the binging because while I was watching those episodes for in preparation for the show, my brain kept making all these connections of okay, this ties into that storyline which was set up in this episode, and this thing moves on to that one, and just yeah, my brain was kept getting flashbacks to when I watched the series. I watched the show twice, by the way. I watched it once for myself, and about a year or two after that, I forced my mom to watch it with me. Because my mom, I was just slowly getting her interested in superhero stuff, and I figured Smallville would be an excellent starting point because she loves Superman, but she had zero interest in watching Smallville. So I kind of changed her around on that. I kind of got her hooked on the MCU for a little bit for personal reasons because the thing is, when I got out of the army, I didn't have my driver's license yet. And I kept, and we lived outside the big city at the time. My mom still lives there. Now I live here in the big city, but I had no one to drive me to the movie theaters to see it. I was kind of like Sheldon at that point. So I convinced her that we're going to have some fun watching movies. And that's how I got her hooked on the MCU. First MCU movie I made her watch was Thor: The Dark World. And we love that movie, by the way. Both of us.
I'm going to say, compared to the rest of the MCU, it's not the best, but it still is a good movie.
It was either my first or second favorite movie for a long time until Avengers: Age of Ultron came along.
Oh, wow.
It was one of my favorite. I wasn't a big fan of the first Thor, to be honest.
First Thor.
But I loved The Dark World. I still do. And can I tell a funny story about that movie?
Of course.
Yeah.
It was the first movie we watched in this new revamped movie theater at the time. Now it's like, I mean, it's a ghost town, but right now it was the first movie we saw in that particular theater. And at the time, we didn't really know quite how the mechanics of that movie theater was going, so we kind of had to exit from one place to another and to kind of go this long, empty hallway with nobody in it.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looked like the abandoned building in the movie where Jane Foster teleported into the other world.
Yeah.
It looked a lot like that, and we were looking forward, nobody there, nobody behind us. It was a completely empty hallway, like an abandoned warehouse, and we were walking. While we were walking, a trash can started to move all by itself. And there was nobody there with us. So we started to run.
Yeah, no kidding.
We made a run for it. It was terrifying. But I went back to the movie theater. Almost every other major movie that came out after that I saw in that movie theater. And now it breaks my heart. But that movie theater just went to shit the last couple of years. And now it no longer exists. I mean, the building is still there, but everything is empty. They emptied out the whole thing.
Sucks.
I mean, it was seeing an empty theater before 2020.
Well, on that note, if you pretty much hit our hour mark.
Oh, that's bad. I had one more thing I wanted to say about it.
Oh, go ahead then. We'll end with that.
That's how I got her hooked on the DC universe and all the DC universe heroes. That's how I got her hooked on the ArrowVerse, and now we're watching the ArrowVerse together. And watching it with her after already seeing a couple of seasons of Into the ArrowVerse, I just noticed something very interesting. Not only did they introduce Oliver Queen, they also introduced the fact that Oliver Queen and the Flash were working together, or at least a version of the Flash. So it was kind of a precursor to the Flash being introduced on the Arrow show.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Me neither, until I rewatched the thing. I mean, and I also rewatched it again, preparing for this show. But in that Justice League episode, Oliver Queen is the guy that got Bart Allen into being a superhero. He made him the Flash costume.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It all comes back around. Maybe it was all part of the plan.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised. Because we get it all done in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this last question. With St. Tom and Erica in crisis, are we safe to say Smallville isn't part of the ArrowVerse?
No, because that's obviously on a different Earth.
Yeah, and didn't all the Earths get destroyed?
Some came back.
Yeah. And I'm glad where that version of Clark and Lois ended
up. Yeah.
Me too.
It makes sense.
It's the most logical sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I think they introduced the idea that after Crisis, there were only like 6 Earths, which the main one, which is where the Arrowverse takes place. There's one for Titans, which is Earth 16, I think. Or there was the one for Doom Patrol, the one for Green Lantern, and Stargirl. Yep. So Stargirl is in a different Earth. Yep. So theoretically, they could have a different Jay Garrick than the one from the Flash TV show on Stargirl, maybe in season 2.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't know if you saw that. Sean Wesley's ship supposed to be coming back this season.
Really?
In what, the Flash?
In the Flash.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's probably Barry.
Oh, Jay.
Which Barry, though?
Well, didn't one of them die, though?
I think the Barry Allen from the 90s died.
Yeah, maybe.
And Jay Garrick is still alive, but he's losing his powers, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or he's already lost.
I like that they brought him in as Jay Garrick. I really do.
Too.
Oh, shit. How much time do we have?
Whatever you got to say, man.
I just got to grab something from the back room.
This is fun.
Oh, yeah. I really want that picture there.
I'm sure you can find it somewhere, right?
Oh, probably. I'm just broke right now. Oh, right on.
Nice.
Very, very
I mean,
nice.
This can go on for another hour as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I just started getting the buzz from this thing. Took me an hour, but...
Oh, I'd say no because I got to go get my buzz on and I still got to eat dinner.
Yeah. I have shit to do myself. Good.
So, all right. So basically, sorry?
I think we could have a part 2 of everyone.
Yeah, no, definitely. We could definitely wax poetic on any of this stuff.
Yeah.
No, we definitely should. And you know what? I would suggest on our next one we talk about failed DC projects because I think Birds of Prey is a damn good show.
Now, who wasn't in a cameo in Crisis?
Yeah, which I was really happy about.
Something I discovered a couple of days
ago.
Something I discovered a couple of days ago. I think the girl that played Black Canary on Birds of Prey was Batwoman's sister.
Yep.
On the Batwoman TV show.
Yep. Same actress.
Yep.
Yeah. So on that note, I'd say it's time we end the show. So 50,
right.
Thank you very much for joining us and smoking your hookah. Where can everybody find you?
Okay, so this is a bit of a long one, so here goes. Bless you. First of all, you can find me on the SCN Facebook group and the Shimono Facebook group. I'm the guy with the Killmonger mask that refuses to change his profile picture. You can find me on Twitter as my handle over there at @shades_geek. Even though I barely even touch Twitter these days, you can find me on my YouTube channel, 50 Shades of Geek. I talk about movies and TV shows and gaming and all that fun stuff. I do a daily Pokemon Go show where I talk about Pokemon, obviously, but I also talk about Schmodown stuff. I talk about everything that's going on in my life. I recently started a Twitch channel where I do live streams of the new Pokemon Crown Tundra DLC. And finally, I've also started a gaming channel, 50 Shades of Gaming, where I hope to take all my gaming content from the current channel and from Twitch and put it there from now on. So that I hope that's going to be a new gaming channel. So yeah. That was a long take. Sorry for having so many plugs.
I think honestly, it's longer for you because you're high as fuck right now.
Yeah.
So okay, I gotta ask this before we go. Like, have you ever smoked marijuana?
No.
Okay, because I was gonna ask you, like, what's if the buzzes are similar, but I guess not.
You want me to break your head for a little bit? Do you know when I smoked my first hookah? When I was 9.
Really? Wow. I waited till 23 to have my first.
I was on a trip with my mom, and she started smoking, and I said, "Can I try that?" And she said, "Sure, why not?" So I smoked from age 9 to 10, and then I just choked really badly on one of those, and I just stopped doing this until like 4 years ago or something, where I just went out with some friends and they started smoke with them.
Well, fair enough. And Ben, where can everybody find you?
Okay, you can find me in the Media Swedish Facebook page. You can also find me every Saturday on Mount Schmodown. We're doing our first live episode this week, where we're covering Video True. And you can find me every Sunday with Matt and 50 here on Get Sweating. And follow me on Twitter at VidRadio2.
And you could find me on Instagram, Twitter at soda_the_saxman. You can find me weekly over on the Schmoes of the North YouTube channel, where we break down This Week in Schmodown and where we do interview people. Coming up, we have an interview that we just recently recorded with Adam Witt and Eric Zipper, which was really fun. We did our own version of the Newlywed Game with them, so that was quite a hoot. And excuse me, as Ben said, you can find me Sundays over on Get Sweaty and here every Thursday on Shoot the Breeze. And after watching Smallville, you can find me on my couch actually going back and binging this show. So with that, I would like to thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe on the channel. And, anything else, anything helps, leave your comments. We always love to read them. And on that, we would like to bid you a good evening.
Smash cancer.
Yes, smash cancer. Thank you.
Smash cancer.